soccer, you got baseball. I see on the field, guys are wearing masks. You're trying to get going with basketball. What has this been like to try to navigate an athletics program right now with SLU?
Well, Danny, you hit it on the head. I did a little math here. It's been 220 days since we were in Brooklyn getting ready to start the A10 basketball tournament. And boy, how things have changed, right? We've been on campus since the second week of August. We have our largest group of student athletes, 405, training in all different ways. Our swimmers are still training outside. We got soccer and baseball playing with masks on. We got basketball that have had masks on and off. It's a different time. But what the bottom line is we've got a great group of coaches and young people who are really getting after it training. And so there's just a lot of real positives that are happening, and they're fired up to get to play when they get to play. Now the basketballs will start in November, and the rest of the sports will start February 3rd. So competing, but they're training right now. Again, we've got our largest group in school history at 405. So there's a lot happening.
How do you try to schedule through all this with the different jurisdictions and the different mandates that you have in cities and various areas that you have to go throughout the country?
Well, that's the big time challenge right now. And, our coaches have done a really good job of putting those pieces together. We schedule our non-conference games. The Atlantic 10 schedules our conference games. It is a moving target. Every day something changes. And I think that's just going to be the nature of the beast here in 2020, 2021. But I feel super good about our coaches and what they're doing and how we're preparing our young people. Our young people will be ready when it's time to play. And so I feel good about that. But it has been quite, I've never seen anything like it. And you'll hear from Travis, and Lisa can share from the basketball perspective. But all of our coaches have done a really good job of focusing on serving the students. And our student athletes are getting helped like they've never been helped before. And we will be in position when it's time to play.
Finally seeing the kids on the floor and your coach is coaching, did that feel like normalcy for a bit for you, Chris?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I stuck my head in the men's basketball practice yesterday. I had just landed on a trip, and I went straight to the arena, and to see young people competing every day on the court and doing what they do and what they're passionate about. It gives you a little bit of normalcy, but what I'm really excited about is the level of competition that our teams are having right now internally amongst themselves. We've got half a dozen teams, Dan, that will have a chance to win an A10 championship next spring. And we haven't been in this position before. And I think we're in the position because our coaches have done such a nice job with it. They've really focused on how we put these kids in position to compete and win. And we've had some major recruiting wins during this time, major recruiting wins. And, Kevin Kalish, we probably have our most talented men's soccer team that we've had in a decade. I mean, they are a gifted group of soccer players. And so there's just a lot of positives. And I think that's because our coaches have really embraced the moment and found ways to get after it and get it done. So it's pretty encouraging.
I'll come back to you at the very end to wrap it up. Now, Lisa Stone, you're back at it again. What's this been like for you to try to navigate with your kids? And they're kids. They're 18 to 22-year-old kids trying to navigate through a pandemic and play basketball and go to school. What's it been like?
Well, it's been a challenge, but I tell you what, the best part of our day, and Chris kind of alluded to that, is getting between the lines. That's the most normal part of the day. How we've dealt with COVID, certainly over the pandemic, our team may in some ways gotten closer. You do a lot of meetings, a lot of Zooms. Quite frankly, Chris has done a great job with our staff. We've had a head coaches meeting every single week throughout this whole thing, for whether it's updates or questions or just each coach sharing their ideas. It's been really quite fascinating. And I think I really believe we've come closer together. Our team's excited, the unknown, it's just not a freshman experience for 6 newcomers we have. And we're trying to make it as most normal as possible. So we go at 6:00 in the morning, Monday through Friday, with the day off in there somewhere. And it's early in the morning, but it's the most enjoyable time of the day for us. We're between the lines. The coaches, we wear masks and gloves, and our players have not. We did for 2 weeks. We have not. We've, knock on wood, been very fortunate in terms of our testing and coming with negative tests. But I've got a great group. I love them very much. And it's just a joy to see their faces and get ready to compete.
How much do you lean on Travis, and does Travis lean on you in terms of, how you try to navigate practices and dealing with the kids and what you're all trying to go through?
Coach has been great. I mean, he and I have he'll pick up the phone and actually mistakenly call me the other day, but that was pretty fun. I mean, I know what's great about Coach Ford is he's right. He'll do anything for me to help us and to be able to lean on each other. And whether it's, what are you hearing on the women's side? What are you hearing on the men's side? What's the NCAA saying to you? And you need each other. You really do. And in times of adversity, it really reveals your character. And I believe our departments gotten closer together. Chris and Janet have really held us together, making sure we're informed of all the changes, and whether it's eligibility or COVID or social justice, whatever it might be, we've been, our department and staffs have gotten a lot closer throughout all this.
You got a lot of fans on this call. Tell us about your team.
I'm excited about them. I mean, everybody's excited this time of year. We actually started last week, and I mean, we've been practicing, but when the October 15th date used to be the way it was back when I played a million years ago. That was the date. There was nothing leading up to it. And without the summer, and that date actually hits the board and it's actually official. And now our schedule is obviously something that it's a daily work. We're working on that, but our players, to me, Kaija Harbison, in my opinion, is one of the best point guards in the league, if not the best. Comes back as a junior. Miriam Smith-Traore was her first year last year after transferring in. She led the A10 in rebounding last year. And Rachel Kent was the top 3-point shooter in the league. So when you bring back a point guard, a rebounder, and a shooter, if we can figure out how to guard somebody, we've got a chance. But I really like those three returners. Brooke Flowers has had a great offseason. I'm excited about her. And Maya Clark and Julia Martinez are the real mainstay returners. Newcomers, Marissa Warren from Incarnate Word. She's a familiar name to many of our fans. Marissa has transferred to us. She came to us from DePaul. She is in our flight school program. She wants to be a pilot. It's super exciting. So I'm working around schedules on Saturdays because she's actually flying airplanes on Saturdays, which is unreal, but she's already up in the air. Natalie Mcneil is a fantastic player out of Wisconsin. She is showing great signs early. Peyton Kennedy, I think claim to fame certainly is the Steph Curry. Wished her congratulations on her All-State honors. And she's not Steph Curry, but she's certainly a great addition to our team. Nia Tong has been these are newcomers, a freshman, 6'3", under the radar, is just a fascinating sponge. It's got a long way to go, but I think she's really going to contribute in our post. And last but not least, as far as newcomers, is Kylie Bess. Her grandfather is one of the most decorated men's basketball coaches in the country. Yep. She comes from a great bloodline. Her father was a head coach. And Kylie's a lefty southpaw shooter. There's not a shot she doesn't like. But the adjustment, the school, the academics, midterms were last week, all of those things, they've really navigated very, very well. Really proud of our team. They're excited to take day by day, and again, great advice. I think Chris gave it to me one day, is what do we know today? What we know today is I'm super excited about our team. A goal of mine and goal of coaches is for the two of us, both men's and women's programs, to be in the tournament, win the conference, the A10. He's got a fascinating team. It's fun to partner with him, but I'm excited about our young women, and they've worked really hard. They love coming to practice, and we've challenged them early. And it's that time of year where how many things can we put in on one day? And Coach and I are both in the same boat. We're trying to piece it in and not burn them out, but it's go time right now. We've got a lot to do before the 25th of November.
I'm sure this isn't the first go around for everybody on a Zoom. So if you've not been on a Zoom, I'm shocked. And if you have been on a Zoom, which I'm sure many of you have, you can go down to the Q&A aspect of your computer and submit a question for Coach Stone or our panel, Chris May or Travis Ford. So I'll go to Coach Ford. You got a guy that I'm just not sure who that is that you brought with you here to, his name's Hassan French. Yeah, he's a newcomer. It's great to have Hassan join the Billiken family, by the way. Coach Ford, tell us a little bit about this new guy, Hassan French.
Well, he's put up some pretty good numbers for a new guy. But, Hassan is just, it's amazing how time flies. It does seem like just yesterday that he arrived on campus from New York, and it's been fun to watch him grow, and not just on the court, but off the court. And, he's playing the best basketball of his life right now. I told him that the other day. Usually this time of year, Hassan's had a tendency to be a slow starter. But right now, what he's been doing the past couple of days has been very impressive. So we're really proud of Hassan right now in a lot of ways. He's on track to graduate. He will graduate in May, which is very, very exciting. Very proud of him for that. But no, Hassan will go down as one of the all-time great Billiken basketball players. That's for sure.
What did he mean to your program when you were able to get that first class under your belt and he was leading the way to kind of set the tone for what you were trying to do with your program?
Well, it meant a lot. He believed in kind of our dream. He believed in what we were wanting to build here. He could look and kind of see what we took over, and the program was kind of in the bottom of the league, but he took a chance, and he kind of saw the vision for what we could accomplish, and a few things as far as he and Jordan Goodwin really believed in. What we told him could happen, and in a couple of years he goes to the NCAA tournament. Obviously he was an all-conference player last year, and has been a backbone, no question about it, a backbone of helping us build this program back. But it was, and he'll remember this. The summer I got the job, I literally went to every single game he played, from Augusta, Georgia to Kansas City, from everywhere, New York, everywhere Hassan was, that's where I was sitting and watching. And I wanted him to know how important he was to our program and how important he was to our future. And, I love him like a son. I am so proud of him.
Hassan, I got to ask you, how's practice going, and what's that degree going to be in when you graduate from SLU?
I'm a sociology major, so that would be the degree I get. But practice is going so well. I'm proud of the team and how everybody's growing, and seeing everybody from last year grow so much to this year. And there's so much leadership, and we're a veteran team, so it's just great seeing that experience being out on the court.
The amazing thing is I've never seen Coach Ford get mad at you. He just never gets mad at you,
No, he definitely gets mad at me sometimes. Definitely sometimes. We have our own way of communicating with each other, though. We've learned that over the years. He knows how to get to me. He knows how to get me going. So we have our little thing that we got in between us. But it's nothing too crazy that some people might not notice. But we have our own little things.
What's it like for you and Jordan coming back for your senior years and knowing how good this team can be, and just the excitement around the program? The city's buzzing about the Billikens this year.
It's great. Me and him challenge each other every day. We talk about how we want the season to be and what goals we have for each other and for other guys. And it's so exciting. We're just ready to go. And I'm just happy I got a partner like him to come in and help me this year win a championship.
Coach, I'll go back to you. You've got now waves of classes coming through, and it started with Jordan and Hassan coming in, but just the waves of guys you got coming through. I mean, how good can this team be this year? And just looking ahead too, but specifically 2020, 2021 this year, and just how excited you are about this year's team.
Well, obviously, we're excited about the team. We think we have a chance to be a pretty good basketball team with some of the returners, especially some of the older guys. You look at Hassan French, Jordan Goodwin, Javante Perkins, three of the best players in the A-10. Those are three seniors. But then, you look at our team, over half of our team are underclassmen, are in the freshman and sophomore class. 8 of our players on our team are young basketball players, but they have experience. You look at a guy like Fred Thatch. Fred Thatch got great experience as a freshman, but he's just a sophomore. Gibson Jimerson averaged 11 points a game. Both these young men were injured, but Gibson's in the freshman class. So, we really, really are excited about the balance of our classes right now. And that's not easy to do in today's age. It's really, really difficult to get the balance to where you can really set your program up for several years in advance. Not only hopefully have a really good team this year, but expected to continue to grow and build on that But yeah, as Hassan mentioned, we started yesterday practice, and we had 2-a-days yesterday. We were in the gym for 4 hours twice. And I had scheduled 2 for today, but we went so hard yesterday that I cut it back to 1 just 3-hour practice today. And this is not for the weak. Our team is not for you don't come to our practice. If it got to the point after practice today in our staff meeting, I'd say we might have to take a step back a little bit because they're competing at such a high level. Hassan and Jordan in particular are putting up, we chart every time we do something live, we chart. We have about 12 categories we chart, and then we chart every player's win and losses throughout practice. And Hassan and Jordan have put up crazy numbers in the past 2 days, rebounding, scoring. I think both of them yesterday combined for like 22 for 27 from the field. It was incredible. Jordan, I think, had 19 rebounds today in practice. I think Haas had 18 rebounds in practice today. So the competition is off the chart, but we've got to make sure we manage that. We keep that edge. And our motto is everybody hears a lot about this team, and you read a lot, hear a lot, but our team, we got to get caught up in the present. Our kind of motto is win the day. We got to make sure today is our best day. Today, we got to make sure we are better so we can prepare for tomorrow and not get caught up in all these preseason rankings and what everybody says. That's stuff about the future. That's stuff where they're trying to predict what's going to happen ahead of time. We need to predict what's going to happen today. And our guy, I couldn't say enough about the practices we had yesterday and today. I love the mentality of this basketball team right now.
Mary Mosbacher wrote in a question here, huge Billiken supporter and has been a supporter for many years. Fred Thatch just wanted to know about just how he's feeling and how he's coming about physically.
Well, Fred Thatcher's 100%. He went through 4 hours of practice yesterday that were as tough. We pressed for probably 2 hours of it. Did probably 30 minutes. I don't know how many rebounding drills we did yesterday, but we did a lot. Those are physical. Fred didn't miss a beat. He was right back at it today for 3 hours. So right there, hopefully that explains just he's back 100%. He and Gibson Jimerson both are back 100%, going full go in practice without sitting out at all.
Coach, how are you doing with your schedule right now? Is it solidified at this point, or do you know where it's at?
We had an incredible schedule put together in the middle of June. We thought probably would be one of the toughest in America, and our team needed that. And about 3 weeks ago, we had to wad it up and throw it away and start all over. But we have put it together. Believe it or not, it was slow going, but I think we're just about done. And it is as tough as probably a little tougher than it was going to be as far as starting out right out of the gates. We'll probably play our first 2 games will be against 2 top 25 teams in the country. We don't have exhibition games this year. We don't have scrimmage games this year. So you're going to be thrown right out there and let's go. We've got Boston College coming into Chaffetz Arena. We're going to Minnesota. We've got a really difficult schedule ahead of us. But our team needs that. They need those challenges. And, it's finally come together after a couple of weeks. It has finally, I think, going to solidify itself probably by tomorrow or Tuesday.
Lisa, I'm going to go back to you if I can for a moment, and recruiting and just how limited all coaches are and what this has been like and trying to get out and see kids and how tough that may be right now for you. Now, obviously the high school season isn't going on, but your summer season was limited, trying to get out and see kids. What was that like for you?
Well, the women's basketball, the AAU teams actually had a lot of live streams, and early on in July, you could watch, you had your list, and the feeds were really, really bad. And I just thought it was me not being able to get on a darn website, but it was really hard. And fortunately, we've done our work early. Our biggest class, our 22 class, our 21 class, we got a rock star that we'll be signing here in November. Excited about her. The transfer situation is going to change some things as well, but we were able to maintain contact. We did a lot of Zoom calls, and I think this whole Zoom thing is going to turn into home visits are going to become Zoom calls, probably for a year anyways, due to COVID. But the intimacy of that with your staff. You can have a player on, you get to know people, and you spend an hour to hour and a half with a family on a Zoom. That has helped us a lot. Our recruiting is going very, very well. Also, thanks to Coach Ford's video guy, Dave, the Magic Man, he did a video of our facilities. He clipped out some highlight video for us, and we were able to, you can use that link for recruiting, as well as there's a campus tour as well. And, you know, like I said, our department is, you know, wrapped their arms around each other to help each other with recruiting. But the more visual you can get it, the best. Not being able to have kids on campus is super hard, not going out and seeing them in July, yet alone like home visits, open gyms, things like that. Got word from 3 of our kids this weekend that their winter season's canceled. So their 22s are going into their, you know, their junior year, and 21s, there's no basketball for them. So it actually, what it's doing is it's having some people commit earlier, and that you may benefit from that, but you also want to reel back that you make sure the ones that you really want are the ones that are committing. And, you know, there's a panic button on some, but right now the best you can do is stay our calls and our contacts are ongoing. It's every single day. I also have a new assistant coach named Brittany Lang, who is one of the best recruiters I've ever had. She's going to be terrific, along with Ty and Olivia. So the 4 of us are really, you know, digging in and doing the best we can to maintain contact with 22s, 23s, 24s, get out there, contact coaches, have the kids call us. And it's amped up, but what we're left to is what we're looking at right now is a Zoom call. And that's really helped us, along with the video that we're able to share.
And Coach, I know Coach Ford, you had a lot of young kids early on. So you almost are, I don't want to say ahead of the game, but you had a lot of young kids at least coming back.
Yeah, we do. You know, we're in a situation where we're being very patient, very, I guess, choosy at this point. You know, as Lisa mentioned, recruiting over the last 5 or 6 months has changed like never, ever before. And it's going to change again probably in another 4 months when the new transfer rule opens up. And that transfer rule is going to be where you don't have to sit out. Everybody's going to get a one-time transfer. That's going to change recruiting like nothing has changed recruiting ever. You know, you really need to be really patient. You go after the high school players that you know are difference makers that can come in and be a difference. If not, you probably need to sit back and kind of wait and maybe save a scholarship or 2 to see what pops up. And that's kind of the situation we're in. The Zoom calls, as Lisa mentioned, you know, they're great. They're actually a great way to get to know some of these families. But it's challenging. But what, you know, the misfortune is for these high school kids. You know, a lot of these kids aren't able to be seen. Lisa mentioned that some of them, you know, seasons have been canceled. Some of these you know, they need to be seen to maybe get a scholarship, whether maybe not our level, maybe it's a D2, maybe it's something like that, you know, that's who's missing out. We're going to be okay. We'll get the players, we'll get who we need and the ones that can help us. But I really feel bad for a lot of these seniors in high school, whether it be in football, basketball, whatever sport it may be, that they're really missing out on opportunities to get scholarships.
Hassan, I'll wrap it up with you, and then I'll throw it back to Chris to wrap up the night. But what's the experience been like at SLU? How would you, you know, define your experience at SLU, and then a follow up to that, just your anticipation for your senior year?
It's been a long road. I actually loved every step of it. From the start, we had a plan, and just like Coach said, we stuck to it, and we ended up getting a championship. It's something that I always wanted to do coming into college. And I knew that with his plan that he had, and with Jordan coming in, that we could do that. So each and every step has been great. I look forward to the future. I know that this team that we have this year, we can win a couple championships. I want the regular season championship, and then going into the A-10 tournament, I want to win another one. And then also I want to go into the NCAA tournament and try to win a championship. I just can't wait for this year. It's going to be great. And I'm just happy that I was able to make an impact in this program. And hopefully one day I can have my jersey up in the rafters.
It's been a pleasure watching you. Have a great year. Thanks for doing this tonight too.
Appreciate it.
You got it. And Chris, I'll throw it back to you, and maybe you can have a final thought for our folks that are on this Zoom.
Yeah, first, Haas, we couldn't be more proud of Haas. And he's been unbelievable on the court, But May 21st, that young man's going to graduate from SLU. And that is a big deal for all of us. And we couldn't be more proud of Hassan French. We spoke on our podcast a week or two ago, and he spoke about his grandmother and how important that was. Did you not, Haas?
Yeah, it is.
And tell us about your grandma and why coming to SLU and getting that degree is so important.
Well, my grandmother passed away in April this year to COVID, and before she passed, she always wanted me to get my degree. No one in my family ever graduated from college, or I think I have one cousin that actually went. So this is going to be a big deal for my family and me. So I'm just excited, and this is something she always looked forward to. So I know she's up there smiling and she's ready.
So Danny, that's why we're so proud. We're kind of celebrating. We've got a golf tournament tomorrow. We got 240 people coming. We've got Mike Shanahan, with HM Risk, who's sponsoring, who he and his family have been part of this for so long. You got Charlie Galley and Stiefel. You've got a whole community that rallies around young people like Hassan French, right? And that's why this is such a great program and enterprise to be part of. Right here in St. Louis, people are so proud. You'll be doing a bunch of games, Dan, with Scott on Fox Sports Midwest, but to see everybody celebrate around our student athletes, I couldn't be more proud. And I couldn't be more proud because we've got young men like Hassan French who are representing our program and our city. And that's why we do it. We're super fired up about it. We'll have a great day tomorrow. We got a little rain to soften up the greens for Coach Ford because he likes to shoot them right at the stick. But this is a great time for our program. And Travis and Lisa can vouch. We've had these weekly coaches calls, and we always talk about how we use this time to differentiate ourselves, because there's programs that are not doing what these two coaches are doing and Hassan are doing right now. And our program is taking a step forward. And that's what makes me unbelievably proud. And we're going to get after it. So, Danny, we appreciate your time tonight. Appreciate all of our Billiken faithful out there who are rallying around our student athletes, because they're doing it in record numbers. And we're just super proud of them.
It's awesome. Let's have some fun this year and have fun tomorrow, guys.
All right, Dan. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Have a great year. Thank you.
Travis. We'll catch you later.